Hello and welcome to BW TV. It is our another interesting episode on advancing higher education in India, where we'll be discussing the future of higher education and its evolving landscape. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Sharath Kunte, who is the chairman, Deccan Education Society, and also Mr. Pushkar Kelkar, who is director of Coursera. We will be discussing about how the higher education is evolving and also its intersection with industry needs. Dr. Kunte, I'm coming to you first. I'm eager to know how are you kind of addressing the demand for flexible, personalized, and industry-relevant learning? It is continue to rise, and higher institutions such as yours, how will they effectively kind of meet this demand?
Yeah, basically, first of all, I have gone through all the questions and all other things, but most of the questions seem to be related to the industry. Education is a sector that has not yet transformed in just like industries. They are still in the, one can say, developing stage as such. I just give you one example. In Corona period, we had a problem because the offline lectures could not be taken in the classes. So the Microsoft Teams app we have used. And with the help of that Microsoft Teams app, right from the pre-primary level to MA/MSc level, all the students we could connect with that Microsoft Teams and we could carry out the lectures. The problem was that 50% or more students could not connect with us due to the lack of devices. Forget about the laptop or other things. Even the proper required mobiles were not available with the students. So we had to manage that thing, that this particular student has got a mobile, so these 2-3 students will come together and join with that particular device, so that together 3-4 students can attend a lecture or like that. So that is the situation at present in our schools and colleges everywhere. From that, we are thinking about the advanced, say, industrial setup and personalized online teaching and all other things. That is far, far away from the current situation. So whatever you are thinking about it is only abstract, as I think.
I do agree that the scenario from the urban areas or the top tier cities, metro cities, is different from what's happening on real ground when it comes to tier
whatever
two,
I am saying is not the situation in the rural area. That is the situation in urban area also. In Pune city, we face that problem.
So there are still a lot of students who are
in Pune, but they could not get the proper devices to connect with the online lectures. That's the situation, even in Pune. So, first of all, we should think what is the present situation. Then
there can be possibilities of this happening in Delhi as well, and we might be unaware of where these students are sitting. The situation is that the basic infrastructure needs are yet to be fulfilled. But when we look at higher education right now in the country, Pushkar, my question to you: when we look at higher education in India right now, there is industry which is evolving at a pace which can't be really matched. It's crazy. It's extremely dynamic. How do you, in your point of view, how do you look at it in a way that higher institutions can kind of meet those demands in a very effective manner?
Right. Resham, great question. And before I answer, Dr. Sharath Kunte, congratulations on the, kind of launch of your, Deccan Education Society private university. I just read about it yesterday.
Thank you.
Transformational.
Really ambitious project we have taken in, but it will take a long way to go before we can compete with other advanced universities and all other things. But we will do that, definitely.
Absolutely. And, I think with the 50 institutions and, thousands of students that you kind of, oversee through Tech and Education Society from KG to PG, right? That's the way it's structured today. I think fabulous achievement. We wish you the best, from the team at Coursera. And we would look forward to, engaging in some or the other way to kind of, help you achieve your objectives. Resham, to your question about the industry needs today, and how the world has changed, and I'll take what Dr. Kunte was referring to, was the COVID time. Essentially, a lot changed, not just for higher education institutions, but a lot also changed for the companies and the corporates. Primarily three things. One, people realized and companies realized that people can work from anywhere, and essentially that's not a kind of a barrier to kind of achieve productivity and efficiency. Some of the industries have adapted to remote work, hybrid work. Some of the kind of industries to still go on into a very in-person kind of attendance on in the office and so on and so forth. So sometimes it's industry specific as well. The second change that happened was because of COVID, a lot of industry and kind of businesses had to undergo digital transformation. So it wasn't as if they were prepared for it; they had to go for it. Just like an institution who had to shift to Microsoft Teams because of the pandemic situation. So when businesses realized that digital transformation is required, they kind of evolved the roles and the functions within their companies to suit that digital transformation or the business transformation that they underwent. Right. A lot of innovation was driven during the pandemic time in terms of how can a company scale and kind of achieve more business revenue and more growth. Given all of these three things, so you could work from anywhere or from the office or one day at home. Given that businesses had digital transformation and that businesses wanted to grow and scale very quickly, the skills that are required to do a job in a corporate sector today have dramatically changed over the last 2 years. And one of the things that we've seen, I also, Dr. Kunte, in my responsibility, work with a lot of corporates where they kind of include Coursera as a learning and development program for their employees, whether freshers or even senior employees. I think what companies are now looking for are skills which are specific to their businesses and skills which are specific to the roles that they hire within their businesses. So essentially, as an industry, they're looking towards the higher education ecosystem and trying to work with them to establish a pathway where, an industry kind of, requirement, starts within the university campus and they learn on the campus while they kind of refine their skills when they come to the, their campus placements or in their corporate jobs. So I would say, business transformation, digital skills, are the two major changes that we've seen, in the past 2 or 3 years.
In our
Understood,
view,
and
there are
very fair point. Both of you very in a very comprehensive manner mentioned it that the future
our
of
view,
work
we have to
is kind of
operate in two different dimensions.
transformation. There are emerging digital skills.
Risham, I think your network was a bit patchy. We couldn't hear you. And Dr. Kunte was trying to share a kind of.
Yeah. Actually, as a person from educational institute, our viewpoint is not much parallel to the one who is in the industry. An industrial person will think in totally different way. Our viewpoint is to communicate with all the students and improve their educational ability, improve their quality. So that is first viewpoint. For what what we have to do. That's why we had chosen the Microsoft Teams. You might be aware of that particular device. With the help of that, we can create a situation of a classroom. And all the students, they can interact with each other, even though they may be at long distances. So they have a feel of classroom. Many other devices, such as some film strip has to be projected, some PPT has to be projected, some graphs or scales or all other things, they have to be shown. Anything we can do with the help of that particular app. In the Corona era itself, government itself had requested us that you have organized your students in a very uh, effective manner so that you can communicate to your students and take care of their education. Why not to help us so that we can deliver that knowledge to the students in the rural area or even the villages far away from the cities and all other things. So what we have done with the help of same Microsoft Teams, we have prepared the lectures. Those ready lectures we had communicated to Bal Bharati Studios, and they have recorded those lectures there in Bal Bharati Studios. And for last 3 years, for 10th, 11th, and 12th students, the lectures are being telecasted on TV, Sahyadri Vahini. So TV is the only medium that can be made available for the distant students, rural area students, etc., that we could utilize. But for that, the basic device we are using is our Microsoft Teams. With the help of that, we prepared all that material in the form of suitable lectures. Then we had taken the help of that Bal Bharati Studios, and finally we could reach the Sahyadri TV. That's what we could do. So that is a sort of transformation from our expert lectures to the rural area students. That was one of the experiments carried out. Another experiment I will talk about. In the same period, so many industries, they were in our connection. 3-4 industrial meets also we have taken in our Ferguson College. The HR managers and all other things have gathered in our campus 3-4 times. And one pain point they had mentioned, that especially the female workers, even managing level female workers, they have got psychological problems in working in industries. So can you help them? So definitely we can do it. And we organized such meetings online, 120 industries all over India, right from Jammu to Chennai. They joined in that program. The number of female workers or managers, they actually they had taken advantage of that particular scheme. That number was more than 300. Online classroom, that was very easy to work out. So that facility we have, even though now offline lectures are being carried out in all levels, we haven't left out that particular facility we were using in previous days. Some lectures we carry out with the help of that Microsoft Teams, some lectures offline condition, etc. Such a both way, we can say, or blended mode, we can say. Blended mode devices we are using for the education of all levels, even in law college, that nursing physiotherapy college we have, even at the time of working hours, whenever they are working in hospitals, with the help of mobiles, they can connect their teachers in our college. They are working with the patients over there, and the teachers are explaining and guiding from this position. So we are doing that even at present. So we have got sufficient devices available at college level, at university level, we can say. The problem is there at the other side. The students do not have those devices. So that is the real problem with us. Even we can take the exams. We have taken the exams, online exams. The questionnaires were provided, question banks were provided to the students online. We have asked them to solve the questionnaires and all other things, send the answer sheets to us. That was also online. We have checked the papers and given the marks. Everything we have done online. But the real difficulty is the availability of required devices in the students, from that side, in the students. So that is the main difficulty. Fortunately, we have
Fair point.
very good quality of computer department in our Ferguson College. So, big data analysis, artificial intelligence, and all of that expertise we have. Any required sophistication we can introduce in our education system with the help of those experts from our computer department. So the generation of such technology is not a problem. That we can definitely introduce the things. Problem is there with the students. They cannot adapt all those changes that quickly or that easily. And so with that speed only we have to progress. That's the real problem.
Fair point, Dr. Kunte. My point here is since the time of COVID, the technology, the institutions, the edtech startups maybe have kind of disrupted the way students were being educated, how the work was going on in the corporates, in the big institutions. But since COVID till now, we have come a long way. And we have delved into the very strategic movement from be it the L&D programs, be it the L&D facilitators, be it the institutions, be it the higher education institutions as well. We have come a long way. Now, Pushkar, coming to you, we know that there is a high demand for digital skills, and to meet that gap, to kind of shorten that gap between the academia and the industry, what industry demands and what academia is offering, there is a gap in between still. And players such as you are kind of bridging that in a way. Could you kind of tell us some of your experiencing of improved outcomes where you kind of partnered with some corporates or let's say some institutions in order to be very fruitful in terms of job placements or career readiness maybe?
Absolutely, and we would all agree that one of the key outcomes for any higher education institution is student jobs, right? That's what
Absolutely.
The entire institution for. What we and Dr. Kunte, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Coursera as a platform has two types of content. One which comes from Indian universities such as IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Roorkee, or IIT Mumbai, two global universities such as University of Michigan or Yale, and the other set of content comes from these courses from universities are taught by faculty from those institutes. And then we also have industries such as Google, Amazon, Salesforce, PwC, Tally, Hero Minds, which are Indian kind of companies who are coming onto the platform today and saying that while we have our own work to do, but for us to kind of hire people from the higher education institutions, we want to go and reach out to the universities through one or the other way. So they've chosen Coursera as one of the channels where they've created. So what we've done very recently, Dr. Kunte, is we've looked at what are the 36 or 35 in-demand job roles in the next 5 years. What we've then done is, we've done an analysis of why are these 35 job roles in demand, because they are higher paying in terms of salaries. They are, higher in number of, jobs that are available in India, and then gone back to these industries and said, why don't you create content so that, if you have to become a project manager, if you have to become a kind of a business analyst for some of your management school students, if you have to become like a software developer for some of the engineering students, and so on and so forth, right? What are the skills that are required? So those are kind of taught by the industry folks themselves, like a Facebook or a Google or an Amazon. And then once they pass through these kind of certifications, they can go out in the market and say, I know what it takes to be a business analyst or a project manager, and hence you can possibly as a student show your skills, show the projects that you've done on the platform, and that way your employability quotient in front of a hiring kind of committee becomes kind of more relevant. We've implemented these programs, Dr. Kunte, across 100 institutions in India, a lot from, Maharashtra as well, such as DY Patil, VJTI, and a whole lot of other KJ Somaya and a whole lot of other institutions. We look forward, to an opportunity where we could, have, an ability or an option to kind of present to you of what we can, kind of bring to the table. But Resham, to answer your questions, we partnered with industries and companies to ensure that they also start teaching. Instead of just saying that there is a skill gap, you as an industry come and teach on the platform, so that this helps the higher education ecosystem, in terms of students, faculty, and the institutions within India as well.
That's correct. The approach is correct. The same we are doing with the help of our management colleges. 4 management colleges we have. 1 in Pune, 2 in Mumbai, and 1 in Sangli. And we have very good industry connect with the help of those management colleges. They have their own programs. How to increase the relations between the industry and college, etc. How the industry experts can help in various ways, not only in a way like CSR. That is one of the way. Placement is very important factor that they help to colleges. We are more interested in the research work, innovation, and incubation programs we have started in our colleges, and industries can help to them. So in that way also we are trying to connect with the industries, and all 4 management colleges, they are running the programs so that industries can connect the college in all 3 respects: CSR, placement, as well as innovation and incubation. We are doing that thing.
Now, Dr. Kunte, if I can have your view on NEP. Now, higher education institutions are now free to approve 40% credit from online courses. How do you see leveraging this using online platforms as a part of NEP implementation? What's your take on this?
NEP actually is a very good, or one can say, a practical device produced by government for our educational system. Not even state government, central government has done its job, but state governments all over India, they are much ignorant about. So far, we feel. Even in Maharashtra, last 3 years, nothing happened. They were not interested in implementing at all. Even this year, only for autonomous colleges, they have implemented NEP part. And the implementation is half-heartedly implemented. Actually, the skill development program, there are 6 verticals in the college education part. The 1 major subject you can choose, 2 minor subjects. One of the minor subject will be concurrent with the major subject you have taken, and the other minor subject will be from any other discipline. The 1 language you can choose. There are 4 verticals. 5th and 6th verticals, one is related to the occupation learning, or say skill development in that sense. And the 6th vertical will be the life skills or soft skills, whatever you are expecting from the students. So with all these 6 verticals, the colleges are expected to progress, and they have to communicate to the students. In Ferguson and BMCC, we have managed all those 6 verticals: life skills and occupational skills, etc. Various courses we have started. We are preparing for last 5 years for that. Even in our schools, we have started such a skill development programs. Every Saturday, 2 hours will be given for that skill development program. And some industrialists are also come forward for our help. For example, Pramod Chaudhary from Praj Industries, he had given about 1 crore rupees to one of the school, Raman Bagh school, so that every student from that school had joined some skill development program, etc. Likewise, we are trying to develop the skill development programs in schools also. NEP expects that. Right from 6th standard, every student should go for the skill development and occupation learning. That's what NEP expects. And in college level, one has to go for all these 6 verticals. So, very few colleges have a capacity to work in all these 6 verticals. That is the problem. One more aspect the new education policy has put forth, that is the Indian knowledge system, IKS. Really, many of the educationalists don't know what to teach in IKS. So there are so many dimensions in IKS. For example, world may have given so many things to us, but we have given 5 very important say areas or very important values to the universe: yoga, Ayurveda, Sangeet, Adhyatma, and family system. So we can develop our Indian knowledge system program, syllabus according to these values. And that will give so many things to the students with respect to their further development and other things. That's what expected by NEP. We have started that thing already. 24 such occupation orientation courses we have started in BMCC College. About 15 to 20 we have started in Ferguson College, and that number will be doubled next year. So in that direction we have already started. Several industries we have contacted for that. Yes, you can send your experts to help us. We will prepare the students, will be suitable to you. They can directly join to your company. No more further training will be required. Such orientation in their curriculums we are framing, and that's what is totally allowed, or that's what is expected in NEP. I have written 2 books on NEP, so I know so many aspects about NEP, and we have started implementing about that 5 years before. Right, that 2016 when Subramaniam from that central government committee, he had given the first implementation issue that you can apply that thing like that. So right from that 2016, we had started working in that direction, and so we had no problem while implementing at this particular stage.
Good to know, Dr. Kunti, that you have written books on NEP, and I'm sure you're the right person to get that insight from. My question is to Pushkar right now. When we're talking about bridging the skill gap as a whole, how are we looking at it in order to bridge that? How do industry-aligned micro-credentials offered by universities through programs, platforms like Coursera contribute to this and enhance employability?
That
Sure.
Pushkar Kelkar only can tell that thing about. I can't say anything. Because we are directly contacting to industries, discussing with them what type of modifications you require in our curriculums. And with direct discussion, we are changing our curriculum. We are changing our experimentation and all other things. So we don't require any other intermediate in between. But what will be helpful, Kelkar can explain, please.
Absolutely. And Dr. Kunti, it's wonderful to know, the initiatives that you've undertaken, within your, set of institutions. What we essentially, have understood and tried to do is, we did a survey, Dr. Kunti, of about, 3,000 students globally and about 1,700 employers, even globally. And we asked them primarily, 2 questions, right, to the students that, if you, had a choice to join an institution which offered only the university curriculum, and then there was an institution who offered you university curriculum.
Remember, there will be no university guiding about the curriculum. Every college will be converted into university very soon.
Absolutely.
Every college will be converted into own, and everyone has to prepare his own syllabus now. That's what NEP says.
Absolutely. So, like you mentioned, right, today, and going forward, the student will say, I don't just want, something that is taught inside the school. Can I also learn something which is outside the school where I can, like you said, right, something from the industry, and how can it be done in a scalable manner, in a really efficient manner, right? Getting faculty sometimes onto the campus is a challenge, with regards to timelines, availability, cost, and all of the other things. So, students prefer institutions who will give them both a flavor of the industry and the kind of curriculum that they follow. The employers as well. We ask the employers that, if you get a kind of candidate in front of you who possibly has, only a industry micro credential or just a degree, or someone who has a degree plus an industry micro credential, who would you prefer to interview first? So that's where, we overwhelmingly about 90% of the employees said we'll go after the student who has both. Similarly, students, in about 85% of those students said we would prefer a institution which offers both, right, industry plus academia content to us. Keeping that in mind, what we've been able to do, Dr. Kunte and Resham, is that across these 100 institutions in India and thousands globally, we've been able to kind of supplement some of the industry programs. So getting a Google faculty or getting a Yale University faculty essentially becomes very difficult. So that's where the online scalable platform that we have has been kind of put to use, where students are learning the curriculum by the institution on campus, but supplementing that with some industry ready knowledge. Now, what we've seen is, some of these institutions have improved, at least in India, on the NIRF rankings as well. So some of the, universities that we work with, were, in the top 100 list. Some of them, which were more in the sciences space or the BTech space, moved about 6 spaces upwards. And some of the others, in the ancillary departments kind of moved up to 8 spaces upwards. So that's the kind of, impact that we've seen. Apart from the ranking, the other impact that we've seen through our work is the academic excellence has improved, student employability has improved, the brand of the institute, and also the ability to introduce new programs. So, Dr. Kunte, as you look at, introducing, programs at your new university, some of the universities that we work with have launched new programs with us, which are online degree programs, or blending our content to some of the on-campus programs as well. So that's where a lot of kind of work of us has happened in the region.
Congratulations for the efforts you have taken.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kunte.
Good to know, Pushkar. Now that I'm not at all surprised that the graph of students who are interested in other than the course programs, which are now advanced and maybe in digital, the new kids, the new generation is over the more excited to jump into that. Maybe it can be generative AI, chat GPT, chatbots, many interesting areas to work with. Dr. Kunte, what is your take on these new technologies shaping up in higher education? How do you see these technologies influencing the change?
Take the example of ChatGPT itself. What we are planning for, we will use ChatGPT in 3 different dimensions. We will teach ChatGPT technique, or in general, artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is one of that. So that ChatGPT we will teach right from 9th standard, because from 9th standard that junior college level will start, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, according to NEP, New Education Policy. From that level to senior college, postgraduate students, to all of them we will teach the ChatGPT right at the beginning. We will start the lessons with ChatGPT itself. Let them be able to use that device to prepare their own notes. Teacher will only discuss the topics in the classes. Students will prepare their own notes with the help of that AI techniques. Not only that, the questionnaires that will be produced by the college, they will be handed over to students, and in solving those questionnaires, they will take the help of ChatGPT. So that they can do. Now the teachers know what the students have got, what the students have collected from the artificial intelligence devices. What additional things we can give to the students? Knowledge is not only information. When experience is added to information, that converts to knowledge. So that second parameter has to be added by the teacher, and for that, what artificial intelligence can help? That we are going to teach to students, to teachers. Using ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, how the experience with related to that particular information can be shared with the students. Unless and until information and experience, they are not connected, that cannot be converted into knowledge. Only after the students receive the knowledge, then and they can apply it. So application is next step. Analysis, synthesis, alternative route finding. So all those Bloom's taxonomy steps, they follow one after the other when the information is converted to knowledge. So first of all, that conversion part, and then further steps, that is application, analysis, synthesis, all the steps one by one, how the students can progress with these steps. That education we are going to provide to our teachers. And the third level, third parameter we can say dimension, that is creation of knowledge. Delivery of knowledge is the general duty of a college teacher. But that is not sufficient. Knowledge in the form of information, it is easily available. Google Guru can give so many things when you ask for it. So information is available. So just delivery of knowledge is not sufficient. To create the knowledge, there are so many frontiers, so many areas in which with the help of artificial intelligence, you can create the knowledge. You can prepare so many new things for that. And we are stepping ahead with the help of these 3 peer programs. Very good help we can get from the experts we have in artificial intelligence, or all over that computerized experts in the
I agree. Technology has magically kind of cut down the gap, the geographical distance, the boundaries between everybody across the globe, and anybody and everybody can be reached out. A student can learn from a person sitting in England right now, or I mean, the opportunities are immense and vast. Pushkar, before we actually close, do you have to say
actually
something?
we are teaching the students how to learn. That is more important.
True.
Teaching is not more important. How to learn, that we have to teach.
True.
And the artificial intelligence will help for that.
Good to know. I agree that advanced technologies would kind of help students to become efficient learners for their brighter future. Before we actually close, Pushkar, how do you look at the future of work going ahead, or I would say, how would the higher institutions would shape up in the near future?
Absolutely, and thank you, for talking about learning to learn, Dr. Kunte, and also ChatGPT. I'll allude to both. So, Dr. Kunte, you'd be amazed to learn that learning how to learn by Professor Barbara Oakley, is a course on Coursera from Oakland University. And it is one of the most popular courses on Coursera. So, apart from learning technology and finance or management, people first learn how to learn. And you are absolutely bang on. I think we need to teach students, and not just students, right? Even employees on, building learning as a culture, building learning as a skill. One of the, very fundamental skills that one should have. On AI and ChatGPT, I think, we're happy to share that, Dr. Kunte, we've had ChatGPT kind of, embedded into our system. So to point that you were mentioning before about, what India can give to the world through the Indian knowledge system, we actually have something called as a course builder, where, your faculty or any institution's faculty can build your custom course through whatever material that you have, some materials that we may have on our platform, and create a very custom Coursera course authored by, like a Ferguson faculty or an IMDR faculty. So that, ability through AI as a tool, we call it the course builder, is now available. Then we have a personalized coach, which we call as the AI coach. So, while we all learn, we always are used to learning through a mentor or a teacher. Now, when you come to an online platform, that is the missing piece that we are trying to solve. So if I'm trying to learn about business negotiation, while I learn the content, while I apply through the quizzes and the assessments that I get, how can I actually, ask someone whether, how to apply this in my real world, right? How to apply this in my exam or in my curriculum, and so on and so forth. So the AI coach and the AI course builder are two initiatives, which is leveraging ChatGPT and AI. The third thing, in terms of technology, I would say Dr. Kunte, one of our founders, is Dr. Andrew Ng, and he's essentially the father of AI and ML, across the globe. So I'm sure, there will be some snippets that I can share with you, of what he's doing in AI and ML today, which may be kind of relevant in terms of a research, which might be helpful for you and your faculty. I'd be happy to share. But to round about, I think to a point that I mentioned earlier before, I think we need to prepare our students for what is the future of work tomorrow. And the future of work tomorrow involves a lot of digital technology, a lot of digital digitization. And does not sit only in IT companies. It also happens in hospitals. It also happens in manufacturing industries. It also happens in hospitality, right? For example. So I think how can we as the kind of partners in this higher education ecosystem, through institutes such as Deccan Education Society and Coursera and the faculty that we have, enable students to tackle that digital transformation is something that we both need to undertake.
And I could see Dr. Kunte nodding and agreeing with the fact you were mentioning. Dr. Kunte, do you have something to add to it?
I thank you heartily for your help that you have extended to us. We are proceeding with our own experts we have. At present, there is no problem with us. But whenever we find any difficulty, we will definitely come to you. And together we can move at that situation, definitely.
Good to know. Thank you. At this point, I must thank you and extend my gratitude to both of you for such an insightful discussion. Thank you so much. Thanks, Pushkar. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Kunte.
you.
It was lovely speaking with you.
Thank you, Dr. Kunte.